There's 10 ways you can become more successful. The first one is to find and really get defined on goals. Whatever you want to achieve right now, you got to get really, really clear on what you want. When you ask most people what they want, they can't really answer the question. You got to make sure that you define the goals of exactly what you want. So if you want to make $1 million, you break that down into 12 months and then you work out exactly what it is. For example, I love to do what we call reverse engineering. So 1 million divided by 12 months, that means you have to make 83,000 a month. Divide that by 30 days is around 2,777 per day. You want to think about different ways you can start monetizing by simply creating the reverse engineer. Second one is you have to understand your market. So when I got into real estate, I knew there was a huge market for property for cash. Now, I know what you're thinking, but John, I don't have the cash to go and buy properties. It's not about having the cash to buy properties. It's about knowing the right strategies to be able to do that. For me, it's understanding your market. So you test the market out, you find out what's working, you find out what's not working. Literally all you do is you do more of the things that work. So when I started in real estate, I knew that there was a market for people that wanted a quick sale, a cash sale, and they just really wanted to just move on with their lives. So then I started dealing with people who were motivated sellers. So that became one of my, if you will, niches. If you're a motivated seller, you speak to me. If you're not, then you don't. Then I started to get into speaking. So people wanted to learn, John, how do I fly around the world, become a speaker, impact people's lives and get paid to do it? So then I started teaching a lot of people how to become world-class speakers. How do you get paid to speak? How do you make a living as a speaker? How do you do collaborations and get on other people's stages? So I started to really define that market and really to understand what's the one thing that I had that people could actually benefit from. And that leads me to the third one is you need to develop a strong value proposition. What I would say to people is, hey, look, I'll teach you how to become a speaker. One of the reasons for doing that is I get asked a lot, do you know anybody who is interested in speaking here or speaking here? Or do you know any female speakers who can speak here? Because I didn't know that many, I thought, why don't I just train them up? And then when it gets to a level where people are needed, then I can actually put them forward. You really got to understand a strong value proposition. With real estate, my value proposition was I can buy your property within 28 days. This became my value proposition. And I'd buy it for cash. And then what I would do is I would add value to the property. I would refinance it and pull the money back out. When it comes to social media, people ask me, John, what's the difference between you and other people when you teach your business stuff? One thing I teach is the business areas, but also the wealth creation areas as well. Business creates cash flow, but the cash flow invested creates wealth. Different types of investments. You've got real estate investing, you've got stock trading, you've got the Web3 blockchain market. You also have digital assets type of investing as well. So a lot of people don't really understand what their value proposition is. And when you understand the value proposition, that's when you can really start beating your competition. Number 4 is focus on customer satisfaction. You should always be working on this. There's different things that you can do. There's different things that if you say to yourself, how would I make this better? If you focus on the customer journey of your products and services and you look at what works and you look at how you can help support your clients to get to that result. And if you look at Zappos, you can really call them and they're delivering happiness. So you can call them, they sell shoes, but you can call them and you can order a pizza and they'll order a pizza for you. It's just incredible that we're now living in a time where you want to focus on your customer satisfaction. And by the way, we're still working on this. There's lots of things that we can improve on, but we always want to ask our community, what are some of the things that you really need support with? How can we support you? If we were to create another service to handhold you through the process, what would it be? So for example, my platinum program, we have 3 different levels. We have silver, gold, and elite. And a lot of my students said to me, John, like, I know this tech stuff is really important. I know this AI stuff is really important, but I'm not sure how to implement it. So then we created a service where people could work with our team to help build out their entire sales funnels or their online businesses together or their online memberships together. So that was an added service that came to us from feedback of people that would actually be a part of our community. Number 5 is you got to start embracing innovation. You can't just do the same stuff over and over again. Now, if something's working, don't fix what isn't broken. But at the same time, you also need to innovate new things, test new things out while not changing what's working here. And then when you get the new thing working, then you can transition to the next stage. So people, they're not willing to innovate. For example, when we're talking about decentralized finance or we're talking about social fi, a lot of people are not even willing to entertain it because they don't understand it. Or because you don't understand something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. The most important thing to remember is to always make sure that you are innovating new things in your industry to find out what people are doing, and you can mystery shop your competition. You can look at what new technologies are coming out. And sometimes it's not just about doing things the way people think it should be done. You know, Steve Jobs' famous quote, how do people know what they want if they've never even seen it before? So we have to embrace innovation. The sixth thing, you want to create success in your life, you got to be really good at financial management. See, a lot of people make a lot of money, but a lot of people spend a lot of money. A lot of people make more money, and then they spend more money. The mistake people make is they earn a lot of money, they get a pay rise, and so their lifestyle meets their pay rise. They get another pay rise, and the lifestyle meets their pay rise. In fact, what we should be doing is, let's say you're here and you get a pay rise, really, you got to have gratitude. You have to be content with what you have. That's not to say you can't treat yourself, but I'm saying you don't want to put yourself in a difficult situation. I see a lot of people do this. They put themselves in such difficult situations that they don't make money the next month, then they're in a big hole. So you got to be really careful with that. So manage your money, keep a close eye on your finances. And actually, where should you be putting your money? The number one place where I put my money is in myself and my business and my marketing. Because why? It multiplies. People look for the best banks to get the best interest. Well, guess what? You are the best bank. The bank is in your head. You produce the best ROI. You produce the best interest. Always invest in yourself. Always invest in your education. Always invest in mentors and teachers. Always invest in the best teams that can help you implement and execute the vision that you have in your head. And that brings me to the next one, number 7, is to build a strong team. You can't do everything yourself. I mean, yes, if you want to be a solopreneur, you can get to $250,000 by doing things yourself, but you'll be very stressed. What I recommend you do is, and you don't have to have a massive team. They're talking about unicorns now with less than 10 people. In the past, you'd have to have 1,000+ people in a company for your company to be worth $1 billion. Now they're saying with technology and AI, you can do it with a handful of people. Look at the top 10 people that you want to have in your team. For example, if you're the CEO, you also need a CRO, your Chief Revenue Officer. You also need a CMO, your Chief Marketing Officer. You also need a CFO, your Chief Finance Officer. You also need to have your CSO, your Chief Strategy Officer. So there's all these different things that you want to start creating that allows you to build that team around you. The 3 areas you want to focus on is an advisor, people in the industry who already have experience. They come on as an advisor or a strategy. And then you want someone in the marketing, in your sales, and then also your operations, your COO. They don't have to be at that title straight away because you might not be able to afford them because you have to pay a lot of money for that. But you got to start building a really strong team. Next one is network actively. That's one of the reasons why I fly around the world, why I speak at a lot of events, because I get to network with people. There was a guy at the last event, and he and I have been speaking on the circuit for over a decade, and I know of him, he knows of me, but we just never sat down together and talked about doing business. So we exchanged numbers, and he told me, he said, John, I've got a list of 130,000 people that could really benefit from your products and services. I said, you know what? Oh my God, like we also have a big database that can benefit from your products and services. Now we create what we call a collaboration. Joint ventures and collaborations is why networking is so important. Number 9, by the way, if you are getting a lot of value from the videos I've been doing, do me a favor, like this video, it'll just help the algorithm. And also I'll be uploading brand new content to show you how to create more success, how to create more passive income, and how to create more wealth in your life. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and share this with somebody who can really learn more about the things that you want to learn as well, so you can mastermind ideas together. And the 9th one is you need to stay resilient and flexible. A lot of people stay rigid, right? They have an idea of doing something, but the problem of doing that is if you're rigid, you can't turn. Unfortunately, the market is very volatile. It doesn't matter. I mean, look, if we have another craziness that happens in the world right now where we have to stay at home for a long period of time, you have to adapt to that. So you either adapt or you get taken out of the market. I will say this kind of this 80-20 rule. 80% of the stuff you can fix, but 20% of the stuff you've got to have that leeway. You got to have that breathing room. You got to have that flexibility to be able to do the things that you want to do. And the last one is continuous learning. In fact, I'll link a video at the end of this that can really help you get to the next level. Continuous learning is always learning new things. That's why you can see a lot of books back there. So I read a lot of books. I buy a lot of online courses, attend a lot of live events, a lot of live masterminds, constantly learning things and spending time with my team to strategically think about things. And I think a lot of people don't take the time to do that. You should be investing at least 30% of what you make into this, because this will produce a much higher ROI. If you get one strategy that can double the amount of income in your business, is it worth it? The answer is absolutely yes. So you got to get to a point where you start creating a lot of this processes to always start learning. If you write the word learn, L-E-A-R-N, take off the L, spells earn. So when people come to me and say, John, I'm not really earning enough money is because you're not learning enough on a daily, and by the way, this got to be a daily basis. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I'm in the car, when I'm at the gym, when I go for walks. So it has to be a part of your daily life to grow yourself, because your business can only grow to as big as you can grow. If you have any questions, leave a question below. I'll personally come in and answer that. Check this one out because it'll really help you get to the next level.